Hello, and welcome to another Contemplative Living, where we talk about concepts to bring contemplative living into our everyday lives. You know, I have these conversations with Spirit, but before I get to that, I try to do these Contemplative Living podcasts every Sunday, but next week I won't be live because I have a commitment to speak at the Edgar Casey ARE, and I'm the first speaker, so I'm going to be there bright and early in the morning at their Afterlife conference. So next week there probably won't be a Contemplative Living podcast. So I hope you're all right. Anyway, so the Spirit a lot of times talks to me, and one of the things that Spirit says to me on a regular basis is draw from that deeper inner spring of wisdom and allow the heart to open to the knocking of our true being. In other words, open up to your true self, your true nature. But the thing about this is it takes diligence, it takes effort in order to find that deep inner spring of wisdom. So today that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about right effort, right diligence. Welcome to Contemplative Living, where we view contemplations for the week to have a better understanding of our spiritual paths. This is Contemplative Living with Dave Bennett, contemplations and reflective meditations. All right, so right effort, right diligence. It's part of the Eightfold Path, and it works together with the other elements of the Eightfold Path. We need that drive. We need to be able to put into effect everything that we learn through our other concepts and the ideals that we hold dear to ourselves. But sometimes we need to leave behind in order to cultivate positivity. So the effort here is to create and cultivate a positive way of being. And we get that from our true nature. Our true nature is loving, tolerant, compassionate, and has a sense of peace within it that we want to bring in, because all of those positive aspects can enhance our life if we bring them to bear in all of our circumstances. So sometimes we find ourselves in less than positive circumstances, and we need to kind of leave them behind. It's all right to do that from time to time. Now, I'm not saying, we're ignoring. I'm not saying, that we're doing anything like that. But I want you to be aware that there are times when it's okay to maintain our positivity, to come back to our center. It's all right to leave behind. Now, right effort, or sometimes diligence. I've heard it. I've heard the Eightfold Path, and I've heard it right effort and sometimes right diligence. But when you think about it, they're pretty close, pretty similar. But what we're trying to talk about here is the energetic will to prevent to prevent unwholesome states of mind from arising. Easy to say, not so easy to do, right? We have to, and it takes that effort. It takes a will to keep that energy at a high level during circumstances that want to drag us down. Hey, Jana, glad to see you're here. And so it's those unwholesome states of mind that pull us down a lot of times. And we all have them. I mean, we're human. And so the thing, though, is to recognize them as soon as we can so that we can move forward. Set goals and practice diligently to achieve them. Be careful of ambitious expectations. So a lot of times, we want the whole world. That's not possible. We're human. And so we need to set goals that are realistic goals. Edgar Cayce talks about ideals, setting ideals. And I like the ideals that I try to hold true to in my everyday is to be truthful, be accepting, and be tolerant. And so that's a lot right there, right? I mean, if we can achieve that in a day, we're doing good. But to set those goals, set those ideals, and then practice them diligently. It takes time for those ideals, for those goals to become a way of being. But we can achieve them with effort. We can achieve that with practice. But the thing is be careful. Don't go too ambitious where you feel like you feel like you're failing, because that's not a positive attitude. We want to maintain that positivity. So we need small successes in order to be able to feel like we're moving forward and that we're moving toward our goals. But stay relaxed. Stay calm. Make your effort diligent and yet joyful. Keep that sense of joy in your heart while you're trying and you're moving and you're trying to really bring all of this together. Don't forget the joy, because the joy is a prime motivator. Joy and love and compassion, those are all positive elements that we want to keep in our core, in our center, because that's where the strength of our being comes from. And we want to bring that forward. But we can do it in a relaxed state. We don't have to be all excited and everything. In fact, when we're relaxed, we're closer to that calm center of our true being. When we're relaxed, we can easily draw upon that and bring it forth so that it's a part of our interactions and a part of who we are and what we're doing. So, whether there are swirling forces of confusion or immense waves of clarity around us, we're still responsible. We are responsible for our interactions, our participation, our effort. We're responsible for how we mind ourselves, how we bring our mindfulness to bear. These are responsibilities that we don't really take lightly. These are responsibilities that we really want to hold on to. Because once we're awoken to our true nature, our true being, we have a higher level of responsibility that we bear in all that we do. We want that to be a positive thing, though. We want to see it as a positive thing. Those responsibilities are important, because how will the world evolve into a more peaceful and loving environment if we're not responsible and take the action that we know is right? So we're always questioning, who am I? We're always evaluating Who am I? We want to bring this into our contemplation. And we constantly want to evaluate, who are we? And in that contemplation, what's the possibility here? What outcomes are possible? If we're maintaining that right action, if we're maintaining that effort to move forward, we first have to take the steps in our contemplative state, in our contemplative meditations, to explore who we are, get to know the root core of our being, and then see the infinite possibilities that are available to us. But it does take diligence. It does take effort. And so I hope that you take some time this week. Explore your contemplative states of being. Bring them forward, along with the peace and the focus that comes from a centered being. I hope you're able to bring that into your everyday interactions, and that you have a blessed week. Namaste.